We earn, buy something and save our money. Living beyond economy is impossible. What trends are dictated by the world markets and how do they affect consumers? Watch this in the program People and Economy. Millionaires, these people have no idea what financial troubles are. They possess yachts, planes, expensive Swiss watches and can even purchase whole sports teams. They keep in their garages collections of the most up-to-date luxury cars. This is the way of how the absolute majority of world population thinks about the richest people. Currently, there are about 32 million persons whose fortune exceeds $1 million. And the surprising thing is that most of them live quite a simple life. For instance, one of the world's richest persons, Carlos Slim, wears cheap watch, uses plastic lighters and has a basement office without any window. Statistically, each fourth person in the world is trying to save on something, including clothes, food or leisure. Money saving has become a global trend, a trend which is typical for the entire world. Producers and inventors are trying to adapt to such a trend. Dozens of developments intended to reduce the consumption of various resources appear in the world annually. A group of Kazakhstani scientists is also trying to keep abreast with our economic time. This unique socket, presented to the general public, is a result of a one-year painstaking work, sleepless nights and 48 hours of experiments. The device calculates energy consumption, monitors brightness and power of devices, and sends all the information to the owner's phone. This team of brilliant young inventors has won several international innovative competitions and now plans to sell its brainchild. The preliminary price of the socket should not exceed $30. Developers expect that ordinary people who want to reduce their energy bills will become their main consumers. For the development of this idea, we plan to produce it in small batches and sell to real buyers. In such a way, we plan to create an all-sufficient and easy-to-use energy-saving system. In order to cut them down, people started to abandon ordinary appliances. Nowadays, the installation of smart house systems, energy-saving bulbs, A+ certification electric appliances, aerators and water distributors has become a priority. Thriftiness of Kazakhstani people has helped them to save more than $50 million during the last 2 years. The smallest system allows saving up to 40% of energy. Of course, firstly you will see the benefits yourself, but at the country level it gives the possibility to save up to 5.5 billion kilowatts or approximately $100 million. These figures really impress. Utility services are not the only source where we can save our money. Some people give up using of branded things and buying food products in stock. Besides that, now the residents of CIS countries do not visit restaurants and cafes so often and prefer to cook at home. In money terms, the retail sales are growing, but analyzing the size of people's purchases, we can say that now they buy fewer things. People have become more careful about their purchases, and in general, it is good. Marketing specialists were the first to respond to the reducing demand and size of people's purchases. It gave rise to various discounts, promotion campaigns and other tricks which made consumers do unconscious and spontaneous purchases. They suggest us so-called loyalty cards and bank cards. These cards make buyers visit shops which offer them different discounts. As a result, people do not think much about the prices. In the meantime, modern buyers more often ignore promoters' tricks and visit shops with prepared purchase lists and a limited sum of money. Psychologists say that now people understand the world economy in quite a different way, and hence it has acquired more positive meaning. Economy itself is a nice concept. It means saving something useful, necessary or even vitally important. Money saving prevents us from losing and squandering our money. Therefore, we can identify economy as a state of a rational person who spends his resources as he deems proper. Along with marketing specialists, the policy of economy sparked interest among software and mobile application developers, who also decided to make their contribution. Budget care apps, family budget calculators, costs and revenues optimizers, and so on. The goal of all these devices is to fix all purchases, including the smallest ones, and calculate their prices within a certain period of time. At the end of this period, they inform the owner about the total sum. Psychologists say that this type of accounting influences people on the subconscious level. There are many psychological methods of family budget planning. They allow people to see and estimate what they really need at home and what things are quite unnecessary. Analyzing this, people try to avoid mistakes which they made, for example, a month ago. The upper-middle-class people are the thriftiest and prudent, as shows the statistics. According to analysts and sociological surveys, the majority of millionaires do not buy antique furniture, drive old and often cheaper cars. The main secret of rich people is that their costs are lower than their revenues. They invest their unused money into different projects or open bank accounts and therefore create additional sources of incomes. About 1.5 of questioned millionaires throughout the world told that they had never bought shoes which cost more than $250. 25% of them had not even acquired footwear at the price of more than $150. And only each 10th of respondents sometimes afforded spending $300 on new shoes. Saving money has become a lifestyle for Europeans. For instance, renting a flat in Holland costs at least €800. Utility services there sometimes reach €300. In the UK, they exceed €200 and approximately €100 in Germany. There are different ways of how Europeans save their money on utility services. For example, residents of Germany and the Great Britain switch on their washing machines only at night time, when electricity is cheaper. Rainwater is accumulated for further irrigation of gardens. Utility services, gas and fuel are very expensive there. Because of that, Europeans even try to avoid using their cars whenever possible. I was quite surprised that during my 4-day stay in Rome, I saw only one off-road automobile. Now it is a city of bicycles, motorbikes and scooters. There are almost no vehicles with high fuel consumption. Sociologists characterize the Germans as the most economic nation, as they set apart at least 10% of their monthly incomes. After retirement, they spend all the money saved on traveling. In Germany, for example, a promotional campaign was launched under the slogan "Being economic is nice." In such a way, they try to make the upper and middle classes be thriftier and convince people that economy is quite a good thing. Being economic does not mean that you are poor. On the contrary, it means that you are rich.
Экономить это нормально.
Nowadays, almost all residents of Asia tend to cut their costs, and the remarkable fact is that this trend is supported by governments. For example, in China, advertising of luxury goods such as expensive vehicles, flats, watches, and even restaurants is prohibited by law. Last year, the total volume of savings in China exceeded 20 trillion yuan. The people of China are those we should look up to, but unfortunately, the quality of their goods sometimes leaves much to be desired. People of Japan are considered the world's most economic nation. The majority of residents of large cities cannot afford having their own houses and live in suburbs. To avoid fair costs, at night office workers prefer to stay in so-called capsule hotels. Saving money for American people is rather a hobby. Before buying something, they can wait several weeks until the price for it will drop. More and more people prefer to have their lunch and dinner at home instead of visiting their beloved bars as it was before. Economy at the expense of quality is completely excluded in the US because customers are entitled to claim damages in a court. The so-called customer terrorism is quite a usual thing there. Customers can easily bring a case before the court and win it. The average claim amount is very high and reaches about $200,000. And it is no doubt that supermarkets are afraid of cheating their customers in such a way. The American aspiration to money saving can be explained by high general expenses. An average salary varies from $1,500 to $3,000. The main expenditure item is housing costs, which make up almost $1,000 monthly. Besides that, the US residents prefer to live on credit. Because of that, almost each adult American has at least 2 bank loans. Shared saving have become a worldwide trend. It is fashionable, sometimes beneficial for the environment, and what is the most important, profitable. Many Europeans share one and the same vehicle between several families or with their neighbors. Many financial specialists say that money saving implies not only a reasonable cash distribution, but a perfect income source as well. According to experts, a person earning $1,000 can easily save up to $400 monthly. Money saving is a powerful and very efficient source of incomes because when we underpay somewhere, we get a surplus money. We can return up to 30% of our money as an additional profit. Of course, money saving should not be a goal itself, but just a task. You consider how you can save on utility services or on purchases in order to buy more things. Meanwhile, a growing number of people now attach more value to wastes. It is a fact that the production of building materials made of recycled carton and plastic containers is actively developing throughout the world. Moreover, many thrifty people regard collecting waste paper, glass and metal as an additional source of incomes. The average cost of 100 kilograms of waste paper or carton varies from $7 to $35. The price of a scrap metal is much higher and makes up from $250 to $300 per ton. Plastic wastes are most expensive and cost up to $300 per half of a ton. At the same time, specialists warn us about oversaving. It is strongly recommended not to save your money on medical treatment and medicines. It is always advised to consult highly qualified specialists in time-tested clinics and avoid cheap pills and mixtures of the unknown origin. Marketing specialists always recommend inspecting discounted goods. It is likely that such products have manufacturing defects or their shelf life has already expired. Along with that, experts remind us about a couple of effective ways which can help to save a considerable part of our money. We should never visit supermarkets when we are hungry. First, we should eat at home and calm down and only then go shopping. Secondly, we should make up a list of purchases and compare it with prices in online shops. Probably they are lower if such goods are available. Only after that we can make purchases. The following simple rules can help you to reduce utility bill payments without any special smart inventions. To brush our teeth, we use 4 liters of water instead of just 1 glass, which could be quite enough. It is also advised to unplug all electric appliances which you are not going to use in the nearest time. It can help to save up to 20% of electricity. A computer left in the standby mode consumes 10 watts during 20 hours. A microwave oven, DVD player and TV set use 8 watts within the same period of time. A coffee machine and radio set consume 7 watts. The fortune of Ingvar Kamprad, the founder of furniture company in Sweden, exceeds $4 billion, as Forbes reports. Nevertheless, he prefers economy-class air travels, takes second-class seats in trains, buys clothes during sales season, and requires his subordinates to use both sides of paper sheets.